Well, we're joined today by an old friend of mine. I've got to fix my thingy
Yes.
here. Old friend of mine, Liz Newman, and Liz is an amazing woman. Liz was I think, second female president of the Dallas Builders Association. So Liz is a glass ceiling breaker. And she's also an awesome builder, but she is now doing something different in Colorado. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Alex. How are you?
I am fantastic now that I've got you here. How's it going?
Going awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's great to have you. Tell us what you're doing in Colorado.
Oh, well, mostly commercial, multifamily, some storage building and development.
And so I just had John Taylor on, which was really a lot of fun. And I think you know John. And we were talking about some of the challenges that you guys are facing up there. And I wanted to talk to you about some of the regulatory issues that I'm sure you're running into as a developer. So you're like the development queen in this company. Yes, you are. I know. Or okay, you're the queen.
Thank you, Alex, for always being so kind.
Hey, you are, listen, just for our audience to know, Liz is a brilliant businesswoman and a brilliant builder. And so that's why I wanted to have her here. I've known Liz for many years, and she's an amazing person. So
25 years.
How many?
25 years we've known each other.
Oh, my God.
I was thinking about that yesterday.
Wow. I didn't know you were that old.
Thank you.
You look great, darling. So we miss you here in Dallas, but you know, John just talked me into coming up to Colorado for a vacation, a working vacation. So I'll see you when I get there.
I hope so.
So let's talk about our storage building business, and really it does relate to overall the construction industry is dealing with a lot of challenges, and I'm sure it's just as big a challenge in what you're doing.
Well, storage is extremely popular. It's been our bread and butter here for a few years. We've built over 3 million square feet of storage just in the Front Range of Colorado.
Wow.
We're doing it across the country now. We have Maryland and North Carolina, California, and multifamily just as much. I'd say probably my development is mostly multifamily at the moment. And all my multifamily is all modular. Everything I'm doing is modular. I even have
Explain that to me.
So modular building is all where it comes in boxes that are 14 feet wide. They come in on trucks. They're all completely built out. Everything is completely constructed in a controlled environment. So
Cool.
All of my colors and everything are chosen prior to it arriving on the back of a truck, and then it's hoisted up on a crane and placed upon podium construction.
So it's called packing and stacking.
Yes, basically.
You know, that is very, very interesting because that has been coming into, it's been in the discussion for decades. And I know in Europe it's a real popular way to build, but in our country we've been just, you know, nails and sticks. It's how we've been building them. Tell me some of the advantages to this this modular construction.
Well, the reason I'm doing it is because of the lack of labor and you know, the ability to build sustainably. One of my I've always been a green builder, as you know,
Yes.
and all of my projects have solar involved on the rooftops of these high-rise buildings, and the ability to build within a controlled environment helps that, as well as the materials I use within the buildings themselves. But the modular build time is considerably less than stick building. You know, I make up for the savings of time and the ability, I mean, the transport of these boxes, because they come from so far, but we're making up for that in new manufacturing plants here in Colorado that are coming out of the ground. So hopefully that's going to make up for it. But the timeline to build these buildings is cut so much that it helps in saving in labor costs, which we're having so much problems in getting labor, as you well know.
Yes.
So that's helping us. You know, I'm building one of the first in northern Colorado. So we're looking forward to having that come out of the ground. And that's in Longmont. And then I have 2 coming out of the ground in Denver area. One that is 7 buildings that are 4-story tall, and then one that's 7 stories.
Wow.
And then I have
7-story modular building. I bet that's got some engineering challenges along with that.
Well, it's a steel building. It's steel.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And then there's an additional 32-acre town center that will have a few different modular buildings within it.
So do you think this will translate into the residential home market at some point?
It has, because I have a 188 unit modular project I'm doing in Laramie, Wyoming, that is all modular homes. And what I did with those is we're actually a chief builder. We do chief metal buildings for a lot of our big metal buildings, our pre-engineered metal buildings. So because Chief has a modular home component called Modular.
What is Chief?
Chief is a metal building company.
Okay.
And we are a manufacturer's rep for them.
I see.
McCauly Constructors is.
Okay.
And so we have a home building company called Mountain West. We have Mountain West Constructors, which is our metal building company that does Chief Building. Then we have Mountain West Homes. I'm getting them all confused here. Mountain West Homes, which does our home building. And those homes are the Bonnevilla homes from Chief. Chief makes Bonnevilla homes, which are modular homes, and that's what we're putting in our Laramie community, which is our Laramie development.
So when you're doing,
homes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. When you're doing a modular home, what kind of foundation do you put under that?
Those are strictly slab homes with 4-foot crawl spaces, unless the homeowner decides they want to have a full basement, and that will do a full basement for them, whether they want to finish out or not. But the standard is just a 4-foot crawl space.
So your on-site construction time sounds like it would be weeks.
12 weeks.
It'd be what?
12 weeks.
12 weeks instead of 12 months, which it would be right now. You don't have any big. How is the material cost that's been a problem for everybody? Is that affecting your pricing at this point?
It is. We have a floating cost that they send to us based on what it is at the time that we have to absorb. But we know what that figure is, and it can be applied at any time. And so we have that in there, knowing that we have to adjust our fee accordingly.
Yeah.
Is
that applied when you take possession? When you take possession, or just upon completion at the factory?
When you order it.
When you order it. Okay.
At the time of order.
That's interesting. What sort of options does somebody have when they do one of these modular homes?
There are so many options available. However, in the time of ordering, because the lead time on these homes, because they're so popular right now, the lead time on homes are 28 weeks.
Wow.
So I don't have that luxury. So I have to pick them in advance and then place homes on certain lots in advance, and then let the client choose a home.
I see.
Because it's just too popular, and there's there's just not enough homes that I have to just pick homes, put them on lots, and let a person choose a home that's already chosen.
What kind of square footage are we talking about on these houses? These homes?
Anywhere between 1,193 square feet to I think our largest one is 1,871.
So they're probably a lot more affordable than a stick-built home, I would imagine.
They're all under 300.
Oh, wow. That's great. And they're incredibly energy efficient.
Correct.
And,
And they are, they're all sustainable homes. They're very, very energy efficient.
uh-huh.
And they, you can get them in a paired home or you can get them in a townhome. So we have 40 townhomes and we also have half of the subdivision is paired homes and half are single family homes.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. I love this. I really do. And it sounds like it's working towards a solution for the future, it being that you have absolute control of the product, which is, factory control product. And you have a lot more control, I would imagine, I'm guessing at this, you can correct me, at the cost of it, more so than when you're out there with a bunch of crews building a house by the piece.
Absolutely. Because you're only using a few subs. You're using your electrical to plug it in. You're using your HVAC guy because you may or may not have a AC up there in Laramie.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
Right. But you do have to have your furnace.
Yeah.
And you have your flat work. You have your plumbing. Only the plug and play has to go in there because everything's already done.
So you just set it down and hook it up.
Right. And then you have your framer to put on the garage. But you do have to have your erector there that's going to make sure that the crane sets it there. And he's called your set and finish guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he does all the set and finish, and then the plumber, the mechanical, and the electrical guy comes in and does the plug and play, and the flat work guy comes in and finishes, and then you have a framer come in and put a pergola up or whatever you're going to do, and a concrete guy comes in to put the steps in.
So the difference when you were building custom homes here in Dallas, and any builder, right? And you have, I don't know, 20 subs maybe 20 subs. Maybe you have what we used to say that there was a million pieces to build a house. I don't know if that number is true or not, but there was a lot of decision making, a lot of management, a lot of having to put up with people that were like, something happened, it's going to be 2 weeks, whatever. Things you can't control as a builder. You've taken a lot of that out of the equation with this modular type home where you can just essentially set it down and hook it up and go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. So,
because I don't know that I could do a home like this personally. I've never done a level of home that I always did 800 up.
Yeah.
So this is much easier for me.
Yeah.
And it's filling a gap that's really needed in the Laramie area. I mean, there's nothing like, they have a lot of mobile home parks and things that are dilapidated, and a lot of people that go to college up there at the University of Wyoming, that there's just not a lot of homes. And between there and Cheyenne, Wyoming right now, there was a total of 19 homes available 3 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
So we were the only subdivision coming in.
Liz, it sounds to me like this is a possible solution in a lot of different areas around the country, though.
It is. And the problem is, I've gone into other communities with this same product and they just don't understand what it is. And so they think it's a mobile home.
Right.
And it's getting them to understand what the product is and how good a product it is. Because if you walk in one of these houses, you would not know. It's not the same as walking into a production home once it's finished. Once you put all of the exterior landscaping and on everything, the home looks exactly like a regular home that you've just built with a lower end production home.
Well, and the thing is, though, regardless of what's happening with the cities, is they're seeing this as kind of a windfall. This building boom we're in, it's a windfall for them, and so the regulations or the regulatory people are sticking it to the builders. And which ultimately sticks it to the homeowner in fees and things like that. You and I have been through that here in Dallas a couple times in our career as we've had these building booms, and all of a sudden the cities go, hey, we can get rich real quick. Does this type of building kind of skirt some of that? I mean, you probably have a different kind of fight on your hands with these cities. Like you say, they're looking at it like, Liz, you can't put a mobile home park here in the middle of my town. And you're like, it's not a mobile home park. It's actually real houses. And, there's been a lot of, around the country, there's been a whole lot of, over the last few years, they've changed building codes where they're allowing what we call mother-in-law houses, no offense to the mothers out there, mother-in-law houses where they used to not, because there's problems with where are people going to live. We've got to kind of relax some of our code restrictions to allow secondary homes on properties. I think that I love what you're doing. I think it's necessary, and I think in the future we have to maybe we're a little spoiled sometimes on our first home buyers. It's like first time home buyers. It's like you don't really have to have that 6,000 square foot house. Why don't you get one you can afford and then move up like your parents did?
You don't see a lot of that anymore.
No, you don't.
They're going straight to the 450 and up.
Right. Wow, that's fantastic. So, what's on the blocks for the future? How's the rest of the year? What are you guys projecting for the rest of 2021? And how are things looking for you around the country?
Well, I don't have anything slowing down because most of the stuff that I do is multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we have storage, which had a slowdown about a year ago, is picked back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's mostly outside of the Colorado market, where we had pretty much built so much that it's our relationships that are taking us out of the state to build in other states, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're just picking up work everywhere we can outside of the state because storage has just been one of, we got named best builder across the nation for storage.
Well, storage says a whole lot about the mobility of the country and what people are doing. The more people move, the more they need storage.
Right.
and
multifamily. The more multifamily gets built, the more storage is needed, and the more the people that are moving out into the suburbs and these smaller closets and all these, they need more space.
Fascinating discussion with my good friend Liz Newman with McCauly Constructors in. Are you in Fort Collins?
I'm in Windsor, Colorado.
Windsor,
but
Colorado.
We also have a Denver office. Windsor's our corporate office.
Oh, okay. Well, it's so great to see you. I really appreciate you jumping on with us and kind of having this discussion. I want to have some more of it. I'm fascinated with these smaller homes because I have a tiny home, and I think that tiny homes are the future. Actually, I think they're the now in a big way. And one of the reasons I say that is because when I drive down a major highway out of the big city of Dallas, and I see RV park after RV park packed to the gill with people living in their RVs, and I think there's a major need for these smaller homes like you're doing. I just do. I think that's the direction we're going to have to be going in the future. So good for you. I'm proud of you. You've done awesome.
Thanks, Alex.
You're an amazing lady. Liz Newman with McCauly Constructors in Windsor, Colorado. Thank you so much. That's it for today's show. It's been so much fun. Send me your questions or comments at alex@remodelrev.com. Check out all of our social media. Like us. We need more people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Remodel Revolution. And also, we'd love it if you'd like us on Facebook. Until next week, this is Alex Guthrie signing off. Thank you, and have a good week. Hey, don't forget to follow us on all your social media. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and share on YouTube, and check us out on all your social media platforms. Don't forget to watch Remodel Revolution on your smart TV, on Texas Weather Tracker TV, on Roku, Android, Apple, and Amazon TV, Sundays at 1 and 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.